produced for a charm of powerful trouble, like a hell broth boil and bubble. Hell broth boil and bubble. This is the song of the witches, and this is what is happening. For a charm of powerful trouble. Charm of powerful trouble, like a hell, broth boil and bubble. Yes, we are witches, we forewarn. We are witches, sir, we forewarn what is going to happen. And like in Macbeth, the witches forewarn. Macbeth can be the king, but the line of kings will come from Branko. You may be the king today. The line of kings in India will come from another Branko, not from you. So if you call us witches, then also understand the prophecy of the witches, which comes out to be true. And being forewarned is being forearmed. That is why we are saying, we are calling upon the people to be forearmed against this attack that is happening in the name of nationalism that is basically a certain brand of religiosity. And that is why I say you and I and all of us, we've all grown up in this world. We've grown up in this country. The Islamic influences, Christian influences are there. I'm born in a Hindu traditional family. Had my Ved part done and my thread ceremony done at the age of 11. Having studied all the Vedas, then you say with a name like Sitaram, with all the Vedas, why have you landed up as a communist? I've landed up as a communist because I've studied all of them. So don't teach us all this. If you want to debate, argue, come. Debate, argue, and that is how our philosophy grew. Through debate and argument, and that's exactly what they want to suppress today, sir. I said, do not suppress. And that is why, remember, our Prime Minister went to a convocation recently of Banaras Hindu University. So did Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru go to a convocation of the Allahabad University. And in that Allahabad University convocation, Jawaharlal Nehru, what does he say about the universities? I quote, a university stands for humanism, for tolerance, for reason, for the adventure of ideas, and for the search of truth. It stands for the onward march of human race towards even higher objectives. If the universities discharge their duties adequately, then all is well with the people and the nation. Unquote. An adventure of ideas, of tolerism, of humanism. You castigate that entire universities. You say that is anti-national, needs to be closed down. 40 years ago, that used to be the editorials in the organizer. He said it's a den of anti-national activity. It must be closed down. Today, the leaders of the ruling party say that it should be closed down.
They want to take a tank there.
And now they are taking a tank, not only a flag. They want to take a tank there. Sir, whether it is BJP or it is the Congress party, I don't normally take.
All right, those are images that are coming in of Rail Minister Suresh Prabhu there arriving in Parliament. We just heard him a short while ago saying this will be a budget that will address the aspirations of the common man. And that customary picture that we always wait for on the day of the budget, holding up that briefcase with the railway documents. Suresh Prabhu there along with Minister of State Railways, Manoj Sinha, both of them there holding up that important suitcase that has everything you want to know about the future of the railways, whether fares are going to go up, those rail budget documents, and there you have the ministers now posing for the cameras and arriving in Parliament. In just about 20 minutes from now, you will hear Suresh Prabhu giving out his all-important railway budget speech where a lot needs to be addressed, from modernization of railways to the way he intends to raise finances for all the capacity expansion, and at the same time, are we going to see some special trains or not? In fact, we have with us right now Mukesh Bhutani of BMR and Jaideep Ghosh from KPMG to give us a sense, a sneak peek into whether we should be keeping our expectations so high or not. Mr. Bhutani, let me come straight across to you first to get a realistic picture of what we can expect Suresh Prabhu to do literally 20 minutes from now.
Well, I think firstly it's a tightrope walk for him. Before even the finance minister gets on with balancing his fiscal deficit for the economy, Mr. Prabhu has an even bigger challenge to manage. There would be a lot of tinkering around that will happen in the rail fares. I don't know to what extent he can go such that it impacts the interest of the common man. So one way of looking at it is saying that inflation is under control and he can give a little bit of push to impact the interest of the common man.
Right, and then of course you're up and you have to keep that in mind as well.
That's right. So if there is any revenue mobilization insofar as fares are concerned, you will see the well-off people getting impacted, which will be the first class and the AC fares. I think insofar as freights are concerned, again it is very sensitive. That's one of the very dominant inflation drivers for the economy because a lot is dependent on the rail, freight charges, which dictates, movement of significant amount of goods in the country. I think from a larger business agenda standpoint, I think the overall balance sheet of the railways, last year they announced about monetization of some of the rail assets.
Right.
He talked a lot about the financing structure, the creative financing.
But we haven't seen any movement forward on any of those. That remains the critical bit. Announcements were made. He talked about the financing part. There were grand announcements on how he intends to raise money. But have we seen progress on that front?
Not really. So I think that is something which will be anticipated now that the government is, getting to realize even more that the only way for them to drive the growth engines of the economy is by way of public spending.
Sure.
I think the indications insofar as allocations for this particular important arm of the government is concerned will clearly come out in the rail budget, and then we'll see the final figures that will come out in the union budget as well.
Of course, Jaideep Ghosh, it is a tightrope walk, and as Mr. Bhutani was telling us, on one hand there is pressure to really raise finances, on the other hand you may see him tinkering with fares, whether we're going to see announcements of new trains or not, something he refrained from doing last time around. Those are some of the questions that come up. What according to you can be something which can in many ways give us a sense that yes, Suresh Prabhu, a minister who's known to be a dynamic one, he's literally been handpicked by the Prime Minister, he's a chartered accountant, he's someone who's been handpicked to transform the railways. But do you think he's achieved that in the last 1 year and he can do something in the budget this year that will give us a sense that the railways will be brought back on track, at least in terms of the numbers?
See, this is, as Mr. Prabhu mentioned last year, this is a 5-year kind of transformation journey which he has proposed in last year's budget. So I'm not seeing this budget in terms of an isolated, this year's budget. I would like to, see whatever he had mentioned, the roadmap for next 5 years.
Right.
How does this budget fit into that overall scheme of things and focus on implementing rather than making several announcements?
Okay, great. I'm sorry to interrupt you here because we need to go back to listen into what Sitaram Yechury is saying. Remember, it's a politically charged environment in which these crucial budgets are being presented. Let's listen into what Sitaram Yechury is saying.
No, at 12 we will break and then question hour will be taken.
I don't, then you can put somebody else.
Okay. All right, Sri Bhupendra Yadav. But I would remind all honorable members, please, no cross-talking. I would remind all honorable members they should adhere to their party time, because 2.5 hours is the time allotted for discussion. We may go up to 3, not more than 3 in any case, because we have to take up other business also. Now, Sri Bhupendra Yadav, see, your parties are 30 minutes and there are 3 speakers, so you can take only 10 minutes. Okay.
सम्मान्य सभापति महोदय, अभी श्री सीताराम येचुरी जी आजादी की बात कर रहे थे, आजादी की, और मेरा ये मानना है कि हमारे देश के संविधान में अभिव्यक्ति की आजादी दी गई है, पर जवाहरलाल नेहरू यूनिवर्सिटी का जो इंसिडेंट हुआ वो अभिव्यक्ति की आजादी थी या देश से आजादी की अभिव्यक्ति थी, उसके बारे में वो तय करें। वो फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच थी या स्पीच फॉर फ्रीडम थी,
इसमें अगर आप अंतर करेंगे वो मैं आपको बताता हूं। अब मैं सीताराम येचुरी जी को बताता हूं किससे फ्रीडम। सम्मान्य सभापति महोदय, 9 फरवरी को जो कार्यक्रम हुआ और जिस कार्यक्रम का ये नाम दिया गया कि एक सांस्कृतिक संध्या में द कंट्री विदाउट ए पोस्ट ऑफिस, इस डॉक्यूमेंट्री को रिलीज किया जाएगा, उसके लिए एक